for what's to come. Man, it's getting hot in here, but I can't turn on the AC. That's all you will hear on the microphone. Let's make this a quick one. 10 minutes tops. Oh, yeah, make sure you have your Mad Libs because it's your turn to read.
I have the Mad Libs, but I don't know if I have a pen. I don't think I have a pen.
Said, are you ready? Yeah.
I don't have a pen. Your review.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ethan. Last name unknown. We're about to record an episode about Sonic the Hedgehog, and I am personally very excited. This is the first time ever on the Sonic Movie Show that we've talked about Sonic the Hedgehog. Personally, it's a big moment for me. I'm not going to speak on Devin's behalf, but I have a feeling he's also just as excited. And if this goes over really well, we might actually, we might do more episodes about Sonic the Hedgehog, but I don't want to, All right, you ready?
Marijuana.
Got yourself a pen?
Yep.
Nicillin. What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 82 of the Sonic Movie Show, the only show that's about Sonic news, movie news, and Sonic movie news. My name is Ethan. We got two of the three today, and with me, as always, is Devin.
Wish I may, wish I might be someone else tonight. Sometimes I wish I was never born at all, and I'll try to save the world, because in the end, I know I'm the chosen one.
It has to be from, the fucking cartoon. It's gotta be from one of the... Or that's, not actually
I didn't even
Sonic
actually
at
fully
all.
read this before I picked it. I just saw that it was a poem, and I'm like, this works. It says this is from the something called The Chosen One from Shadow the Hedgehog. Shadow the Hedgehog? I don't know.
Something tells me that's a fan-made poem about the Shadow the Hedgehog video game, taking him way too seriously.
Someone fact-checked me. It's on Tumblr, so it's
oh
accurate.
My God.
I've gone into the depths of Tumblr now to get our quotes.
Great. You're going to have strong opinions about, abusive relationships that aren't abusive. Okay, because that's all Tumblr is. For the first time in a very long time, we actually have substantial Sonic news, both in the home front and the film front, the foreign front, because films are a new frontier for Sonic. I'm going to call that the foreign front.
The
Sonic's
final
going to war.
frontier.
But yeah, we have Sonic game stuff a little bit and Sonic movie stuff. You tell me what you want to start with first, Evan.
I mean, we're the Sonic Movie Show, so I feel like we should talk about the Sonic movie stuff.
Okay.
The Sonic sequel, since the Sonic Movie Show was renewed for a second season when when the first movie did well, and we're like, hey, we can keep doing
in a
this.
sense. We can keep, yeah. So if we're going to talk about the Sonic movie 2, I think we need to actually then intro our new podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sonic Movie 2 show. My name is Ethan.
Sonic Movie
With
2
me for the first time ever is Devin.
Wish I may, wish I might be someone else tonight. I'm not doing it all over again.
Hello, and welcome to the first ever episode of the Sonic Movie 2 show. On this show, we talk about only Sonic Movie 2, the second Sonic movie. We're a spin-off episode of Sonic Movie Show episode 82. This is episode 1. Mid-credits of episode 82. No, but yeah, so Sonic Movie 2, which we know is coming out April of 2022. Sonic 2, April 2022.
Oh my God, dude.
Lots of twos.
Two twos.
Instead of being a twosome, it appears it's a threesome because some set photos and videos has leaked.
Well, we don't really know
Sonic
if it's
movie.
leaked or...
My thing is, I don't think it matters, and I don't care.
Does no one care? I don't know.
I don't care.
Because the original source is from some guy named... Let me get it up here. Well, it was the Sonic the Hedgehog news and updates Tails channel, at Tails channel on Twitter, and they pulled it from... They were given these set photos from someone by the name of @Pursuit23. Don't know this person. I looked into them. I don't know what their profession is, if they took these photos themselves or if someone else gave it to them. But yeah, they're photos from set. It looks like they're filming wherever they filmed Green Hills, Montana, or something similar to it. I know
it's probably in Vancouver.
In Vancouver again. Yeah, and then in these photos though, the big one is there's Knuckles standing there. They're using these props. Basically, I'm assuming they're gonna CGI over them.
Well, this is the big thing, and I want to cut you off for this. This is redesigned Sonic, and obviously Tails and Knuckles are based off of this anime or art style of Sonic. Remember, they did something similar to this for the first movie, but it was a blue hedgehog-like puppet dummy thing.
Yeah.
That did not look like this. It looked more like the original design for the character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why I think it's interesting. And from what I recall from hearing, what's his name? The guy that voiced Sonic. From hearing him talk about, the production of that movie. Ben Schwartz. It wasn't like a rubber thing that was standing. It was like a Muppet, so to speak, like a hardy, Muppet you could throw, but it was something that just had to sit down. Like they had it as like they stuck it on a stick if they needed to. Like it was a thing to just look at. But here, the fact that there is 3 of them, considering
like statues, honestly.
Well, but you have to remember, since there's 3 of them, they're going to be talking to each other. They can hold a scene by themselves. They need something to show on screen where they physically are, right? So I think this is very cool. It even looks like they have some posability to them. Tails' arm in this one shot looks like he's about to he's signaling that he's turning right.
I would love to sit down and meet the people that actually do the actual animation of this and how that process goes, because you have the physical statues here, but are you overlapping it? I'm assuming that's what you're doing, or is there something
to delete them?
Yeah, there's so many questions I have. I would love to see that process from start to finish. I think it'd be a really cool thing to see.
Did you see though? This was a couple years ago. Them showing this stuff off for Detective Pikachu, and how they made realistic feathery and hairy, scaly Pokemon figures for this very purpose. That's what first made me realize oh yes, in CG cartoons or CG characters in real life movies, that's what they do for this. It's very weird how realistic they try to go. And I mean, the Sonic and Tails look very deadpan and weird, but maybe it's just this one photo, but Knuckles looks fucking good. He looks like an actual statue you might see of him, as opposed to here's an action figure.
It looks just straight from the games. I mean, more recent games and cartoons. The design looks really nice, and if that's what he's going to look like in the movie, then good job. You didn't fuck it up for the first time.
Right.
In the first time, and Tails looks like Tails from the end. Maybe the design is slightly changed. It's kind of hard to tell from here. I'd have to look at a side by side, but I don't think
honestly,
it's changed.
if you asked me, if you put a gun to my head and said, name the differences between this movie design and regular Tails, I'd be maybe his shoes are different, but he just
did
looks
he
like
have
Tails.
gloves? I think so.
He had gloves. They all had gloves, but
did he have 3 whiskers or 4? I don't remember.
The proportions of his head to his body might be slightly different, and you don't know this. You're a fake Sonic fan. I didn't play all the games. I'm sorry.
I like how though they made.
I don't
Knuckles,
like the cartoons.
They made Knuckles thick though. I like that a lot.
Yeah, he's got. But because Sonic has got he's got that manly triangular torso. That short at the bottom, broad shoulders. But Knuckles is just a fucking tube.
Yeah,
he's like a giant tube.
And it looks like he's wearing the gloves, and he looks like he has some spikes on his gloves. So that's important. Yeah. The question is now that I'm thinking about it, will he fly? Will they have? We have set pieces of him gliding?
It does not make sense of how Knuckles glided.
I think they were just trying to do something different from Sonic. I think that's literally it, and they're don't worry about it. Maybe my question, that's what'll happen in the movie. There's going to be a scene, and here you can quote me now in case it happens. You heard it here first on the Sonic Movie Show of all places.
Yeah.
There's going to be a scene where he flies, and how you do that? And he's going to be I don't know.
I don't fucking know. Especially if he's Jason Momoa. But my question about Knuckles' design, and maybe it was just this photo, because there's a video we saw that we don't have up at the moment, where it's a 1.5 minute thing, and Knuckles is just a head in some scenes. I wonder what that purpose was. But so maybe it's just this photo, but Knuckles on his chest, what would be above his nipples, on his clavicle, I guess. His actual regular design is like a white crescent moon,
Oh,
where
see,
like
I thought
the
that was
emptiness
the
points up.
sun angle, but you're right.
That's what I'm thinking. I think this is just a glare or like a reflection. I wonder if in this design
now
he
that I'm
has
looking at it, yeah.
because they give Sonic and Tails a tummy. You know what I mean? They still give like that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean?
I think there is
They'd
a
still have that.
white ring there. I think you're right. I
Yeah.
think this the angle of it in the lighting is kind of hard to tell. But it does look
His
a little.
shoes
It looks a
look
little
like
bit
how
more.
I remember.
Look a little bit more vibrant than like on his head there, where there is a reflection.
I'm just glad these characters are bright fucking colors.
Yeah,
You
they're
know?
not afraid to make them cartoony and not realistic or whatever you want to call it. You know, I mean, they're going straight from the source material, which is good. I think they learned their lesson for sure, and they realized like,
They saw the positive response to it.
and then the movie did well. So like, okay, let's not fuck this up. Let's not change anything. Let's literally verbatim pull them from Sonic Forces.
Probably. Now here is my speculative question for you, Devin.
Yes.
This photo clearly is from the same video, or at least the same shooting of whatever scene the video we saw was, which looked like it clearly was action. I mean, we got destroyed street, kind of broken up and all that stuff, and there's a part where it looks like they dolly Sonic away. Maybe they dolly to follow Sonic as he's being, I think, maybe pushed, thrown, and he collapses and sits on some rubble or something like that. A scene like that, it looked like from the video. So it's clearly a fight scene, and it has all three of them in it. So here's my question for you, Devin. Is this towards the beginning, or is this towards the very end? Is this the climactic fight?
That'd be
or is
interesting.
this where we meet Knuckles, and potentially even Knuckles and Tails at the same time?
That's a good question. So considering that this is in Green Hills, this makes it tough. Because we've done plenty of episodes at this point of what would the sequel look like? What do we want from a sequel? And our reviews of the first movie. We did 3 reviews on the first movie at different times. And I feel like it really depends on what the budget of this film is and how big and expansive are they trying to make this film. Is it only going to take place in 2 cities again? Is it going to be another road trip? Is it going to be taking place in Sonic World? They might cut half the budget or do all the not the budget, do the most of the setting in Mushroom World where Dr. Eggman is. They might do in other worlds so they don't have to do all these set pieces. This could be the only on Earth set piece in the whole movie. But to answer your question, I think this is going to be the middle part of the film. I'm gonna kind of slide away from either the beginning or the end. I'm going to say it's in the middle because I think it's gonna start in Green Hills and like we're gonna get introduced to Tails. Something's gonna happen. They go to other worlds and they come back, and then Knuckles is gonna be here. I think we're gonna either fight Eggman or a new enemy. And then I think it's going to end somewhere else that we don't know yet. Like it's going to be in a different setting. But I can easily see where you're saying where this could be the ending. This could be the climax. Maybe this is a Batman versus Superman scenario and Knuckles doesn't come until the end.
Yeah. That is a bit concerning, though, for me. Just think about it, because this shot is in Green Hills. So if this movie ends with another climactic fight in Green Hills,
it'd be boring.
Then it might seem as if like their scope is still small,
Which we don't
you
want.
know what I mean?
We don't want that. Maybe other people who are listening would love it to still stick in a small scope. I can hear an argument for it. I personally think that, okay, you played it safer in the first one, which is fine. I think it was what you're trying to do with it, and trying to introduce a character and his journey. It's good to just have from point A to point B, from Montana to San Francisco. Most of it's in the car or at someone's house at Green Hills, and then at the tower. They don't even show them really in San Francisco besides like that street view very briefly. So yeah, it'd be kind of disappointing if like this is just in Green Hills again. I think if it starts off with this, that'd be pretty crazy to have like a huge action fight scene or whatever it is in the beginning of the movie. I think that'd be cool. But I could see this being kind of like closer to the middle, in my opinion. I think this might be the start towards them leaving Green Hills. It'll start in Green Hills for sure, and then it'll lead us to other worlds.
That's my hope. Or even if it is just on this world and Eggman escapes, that it is still like a bigger
and that's
threat
the one
than,
thing
my hometown.
Speaking of leaks and stuff, that's the one thing we still haven't got confirmation on, is whether or not Jim Carrey or Eggman in general is in this film. because Knuckles has been rumored for a while, or like it was speculation. We knew Tails is going to be in it. There's been we mentioned Momoa earlier. He's rumored to maybe be the voice. Nothing's been finalized on that, so they're keeping a lot of things tight knit. That's why I'm kind of surprised that like we got set photos. We know our boy James Marsden's going to be in it. We got Tika Sumpter back as Maddie. That's cool. I'm glad they're both of them are coming back. They're not going to just like, okay, it's just James Marsden by himself. I like their dynamic, so let's bring him back. Obviously, Ben Schwartz is going to probably be back. I'd be shocked if he wasn't. But the only one,
Tails was not credited in the credits for the first movie, so I wonder who that person was.
Yeah, and I wonder if Agent Stone there, Lee Majdoub, I think I'm mispronouncing his name, so I apologize, but I think he'll be in the second one. I could see him being in this, and then maybe Jim Carrey's not, and he's not the main villain. It'll be something completely different. You know, it might be a what's it called? Might just be either a totally new character, or it could be Metal Sonic or something, but it's maybe not related to Eggman instead. Maybe he's from space or something, from another world.
Well, that's what we had considered, was like, okay, you don't have your villain come back in the sequel. You build up the universe and like the threats and all that stuff, and then you have maybe either Robotnik is secretly behind the villain plot, and then you bring him back to the third, or he just comes back in the third film. I wouldn't be against it as long as they make it cool and interesting. And you know, like Sonic fans are not going to be happy about this, but anytime that they try to make a villain that is an Eggman, it's not interesting. Like, the villain could be Shadow the Hedgehog, but that's too many new characters. You make that the third movie, so to speak. Metal Sonic, maybe, but that requires Robotnik.
But does
like,
it? You can break the rules in movies.
You could, but I don't think...
The Sonic fans might be mad, but do the general people... Because we had this debate plenty of times. Do the general people give a fuck?
I think considering the legacy of the first movie and how the fans said, no, fuck it, make him look good. And they're like, okay, fine, we'll do what you want. Hey, it's actually good now. I think they don't want to go against the grain.
No,
I think
get
they
that,
do want
but
to
at the same time, like, Sonic in the games doesn't really have a backstory, and no one was complaining that Sonic came from another world. I'm sure people did have that complaint, but there wasn't like a general like, wow, that was real dumb. Like, no one was pissed. Everyone's like, okay, that's cool, whatever.
Yeah, it's how they made it work, right?
That's what I'm saying. They can do that. Metal Sonic is from some metal worlds or something, like Transformers or something, like that kind of idea.
Ooh.
You know, it could be something like that.
Okay, so it's like one of the ideas we had said. New villain, it's Metal Sonic, and revealed at the end that, you know, they bust him open and it's like, says Robotnik Industries or whatever inside. Like, oh, it was him all along. And then you see like, you know, he was looking through Metal Sonic's eyes, as were cameras, and he's, you know, like that's the end credits type of thing, as he like he does the evil person hands.
We're kind of getting into like less news, but I just thought of a cool idea. I would love if Agent Stone had to work with James Marsden, like they had to become like not friends, but like they had to work together. I think that'd be cool.
They're like the only two people left that
know something about that can help Sonic or something. Like maybe for Eggman to be saved, Agent Stone has to work with James Marsden or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. I would be down with it. I love when like in like cartoons or like kids cartoons where like it's like when SpongeBob like would hang out with Plankton. Like Plankton's the bad guy, but like it was fun for like Plankton uses SpongeBob to do dumb shit, or like vice versa, or SpongeBob will still be nice to him even though he's clearly trying to take over Bikini Bottom. Like I like that as a concept, that like Agent Stone works for a bad guy and probably long term is gonna be bad, but he's like, James Marsden's like, shit, I gotta work with him because he's the only one who knows the key to this or something like that. So there's a lot of possibilities they can do. I do remember that one leak we had, I think it was in January. We didn't talk about it on the show because it was only one like quick clip of just cop cars like flying down the street at night. We were and it was like in a city, so we're like, okay, maybe there is another city setting. Maybe they go back to San Francisco. Who knows? It also could be Green Hills, but I doubt it because they made it seem like Green Hills is definitely like a rural town of like maybe 1,000 people at most. So I doubt it's that. So there's a possibility that there's another city. We know Green Hills is in this for sure. We just don't know about anything else. And now we know that Knuckles is in it, which I think is the biggest news for sure. And Knuckles looks good. But that's all we really have. I see that we have some of the photos here of military, but like we had that in the first movie, so it's not too surprising.
There is other photos have shown up. There's like lots of gun. It looks like it might be gun in this movie universe. Military vehicles.
That's right. The helicopter.
There's the helicopter. There's these just military convoy vehicles that say gun on them. There's a photo of a man that looks like he might be dressed like Robotnik, hanging from a wire. That might be a stunt double for Jim Carrey.
So it is,
so to speak.
Can we confirm that then? I mean, like,
he's not attached yet to the movie,
which is concerning. That'd be a big blow if Jim Carrey isn't back.
But someone else is. Like, if they keep the character and it's like, oof, now it's...
Unless they're having someone else as a big fat Eggman, but I don't think you need to do that. I think it's totally fine just having Jim Carrey as bald.
Yeah, right. I would like the idea of he's just so obsessed with Sonic and he's so like detached from his government, like basically cushy, like whatever you need can be paid for type of job, and he just lets himself go. Maybe that's like his
probably
obsession.
Could gain some weight, but he doesn't need to be like
anything else,
a cartoonish Eggman necessarily for it to be funny. But they also could be using the prop there for now because they're not going to have 60-year-old Jim Carrey flying through the sky. So maybe they're filming that stuff now, and Jim Carrey will do his parts later. We don't know. There's so many. This is all speculation. We only can base things off of the screenshots we have. But it does sound like Eggman's in it. If you're seeing, I didn't see those ones. I might have missed those of what looks like Eggman. He said flying.
Yeah. Robotnik takes flight. Apparently. This is all very exciting, and I think we could go on a speculative rant on all this stuff. I think we would like to wait until we have a bit more, like a trailer or something, to really
even like a poster,
nail down what we think about like what the story is going to be. Because at the very least, I personally think that this city scene with Tails, Knuckles, and Sonic is towards the beginning of the film. I hope it's not at the end because, again, it takes place in Green Hills. But, like, at the very least, it seems like a Sonic meets Tails right away. Then they do stuff. There's a fight. Then Knuckles shows up. That's what this fight is. And then we have the rest of the movie to run around at the speed of sound. You know what I mean?
But, until we get, like, either another couple posters or even leaked theater posters. I remember that we did a whole episode on, like, the one... That was when Sonic's design, before the trailer even came out. It's actually one of our first episodes was the leaked poster there. Of
exciting
of Sonic, and then there was one where he's sitting on the Golden Gate Bridge, just his feet. And they're trying to hide the design for some reason, which is such a weird marketing thing when the whole movie's called Sonic. It's not like he's going to be Jaws, where you're like, what will Sonic look like for the whole movie? It's like I'm coming to see Sonic. Show me Sonic.
Exactly. We could go all that stuff. There's not too much more to go on, but it's cool. It obviously looks like they are deep in production.
It's actually funny that they had him on the San Francisco Bridge when that never happens, or like it really wasn't in San Francisco, really.
It's just one of those I don't know what you call it, mood type of things of like, here's the vibe we're going for this film or whatever.
Fun adventure.
Fun, exactly. Sonic's in our world and he's just having
So what
a blast.
what if the first poster's him and it's all like dark or something and he's holding a gun? Then would the mood be like, oh shit, it's serious, it's personal now?
And then it just completely isn't like that? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, then that's what it'll be just be like fun and camera.
Okay. So yeah, hopefully we get more news about it soon. So
make sure to follow us on Twitter because I usually retweet that shit. So make sure
at Sonic Movie Show.
And at Tails channel there. They usually have good stuff too.
That's where we pulled most of the stuff from. They compiled it all for us at the very least. Now, our very first episode of this podcast. Sorry, we're taking a step out of the Sonic Movie 2 show. We're going back to episode 82
I was going to
of
say
the Sonic Movie show.
I'm getting confused here. Yeah.
We're hopping back out. All right. Very first episode of this podcast was, what do we want from a Sonic movie? And then the second, like in between that and the second episode, we got the trailer. The thing that we were like, and we've said this a few times in the past when we were like basically wanking ourselves off about how clever we are over making a podcast called the Sonic Movie Show. But like, we were like, wow, we both really like Sonic the Hedgehog in like a morbidly curious, like, oh, he's already dead, stop hurting him, yes, type of way. We were like, wow, this movie's supposed to come out in November. It is April. And there is not even a trailer or a poster or anything. And it's still supposed to happen. What the hell's going on? We were like really like, cautious and like, what the fuck, right? I wonder if that timetable's still what's going to happen for this movie.
We won't get.
Are we going to
anything.
get a trailer until like December?
Christmas? Yeah, I was gonna say like Christmas Day Sonic trailer.
Like, my thinking is they might wait until they really have a strong indication of, yes, April is when we're doing the movie.
COVID
I know
is
we posted that
throwing
out,
everything.
but
Easily could be delayed again, for all we know.
Yeah.
Like, it could be December rolls around, we get no trailer, then a week later in January, they're going to be like, actually, this movie's coming out in September. For all we know.
There's that one photo of John Marston on set with the mask on, and obviously that's what happens with current movie filming, is that there's lots of safety protocols, and hopefully
Delays,
we're at the point
probably.
now
It's kind of
where
going slower than it normally would.
Right, lots of work from home stuff where people aren't. My hope is that maybe this team has had the time, had the fortunate instance of their movie came out right at the start, so they got to watch other people try to do this work from home and maybe learn from them a bit, and then maybe start from there. You know what I mean? Maybe they had a bit of a leg up. But in any case, that has been our Sonic Movie News sequel update. Welcome back to the Sonic Movie Show, episode 82. My name is Ethan. Devin's here. We're going to talk about Sonic Colors Remastered, which we mentioned briefly the very end of an episode a couple episodes ago when it was basically leaked or whatever right as I was editing the episode. Very basic. This news isn't super recent, so you've all heard about it right now. But a German localization company, I forget what they're called, that's worked with Sega in the past.
Das ist Sonic.
Das go fast.
Sonic goes fast, yeah.
Something. No more Nazis here, please.
Yes.
They had posted on their job recruitment website, or like, hey, work with us. Look at our CV. So to speak.
We making Sonic Colors Remastered.
Yeah, exactly. They're localizing
this.
This German localization company is working with Sega, as they have in the past, on a game called Sonic Colors Remastered. My assumption is it is a remaster of Sonic Colors, probably the Wii one, because the DS one is a completely different game.
How funny would it be if they're like, nah, it's the DS one,
It's the DS one. I mean, I heard it was okay, but like...
Just like so close, but like so far. They're like...
And it's for mobile. Like, it's not even like it's a free-to-play mobile gotcha game.
And it's only on Android, though. It's even more selective. God. It's just like, and it only runs on Windows phones, sorry.
Or it's one of those Apple Arcade games, so like none of those Apple Arcade games can ever come to Android.
Yeah.
Because of that. It's like, damn. Hey, want to play that new game by the creator of Final Fantasy? Sorry if you have an Android phone, God forbid.
Yeah.
Eventually when it comes to Switch or PlayStation, you can play it. But yeah, so Sonic Colors Remastered seems to be a thing. I played Sonic Colors years and years and years ago. It's 10 years old this year. Makes sense for an anniversary release. It seems like a good marketing thing. I like the game quite a bit
right now, though. I feel like it's just most of these companies aren't making full-fledged games to kind of like survive COVID. I feel like a lot of companies are just updating ports or remastering games.
10 years is perfect. Nier has just got its remaster, technically remake, though it's a remaster really. 10 years later, Zelda is doing it with their 2011 Wii game that I thought was completely terrible. 10 years later, it's like a 10-year anniversary is like the perfect to be like, hey, it's long enough to feel nostalgic for this game. It's technically retro. Buy our old game. Sega's probably going to sell this for $60, I imagine.
Make it 40, bruh.
Like, if it was a collection...
Make it 40, Sega.
If it was a collection of Sonic Colors and Sonic Unleashed, which I recently platinumed 1 month ago, then maybe I would say full price. But it depends. Like, if they redo the graphics, okay, then yeah, that's worth... To me, that's worth a fuller price. But if it's just,
I don't even want a
it's
Sonic
that game
to
in
ever
HD...
be $60. I'm going to say
cool.
it.
They got to prove that it's actually worth it.
Yeah, Sonic hasn't proved to me yet that I should be spending $60 on you, dog. I spent $30 on Team Sonic Racing, and I'm like, still like, man, in hindsight, this could have been a good $20 game. This is a greatest hits game or whatever.
I forgot how much I spent on Sonic Forces. It was not full price, but I think we both agree that was not worth whatever I paid. Well, they're not gonna do $60 for the next new Sonic game because they're gonna jump straight to $70. So that's what new games will cost on these consoles.
Yeah. And it'll be 5-hour long game.
Yeah,
hopefully
exactly.
not. Just it's gonna be Sonic Forces 2 on PS5. Sorry, God, you're getting this.
the fucking actually technically fun Sonic levels are going to be 45 seconds each. They'll run through a burning city, go through a loop-de-loop,
Hey,
run into shadows,
To
stop.
be fair,
and then
like
that's
it's no different than a roller coaster, man. You know, you pay all this money to
Right.
get into Universal, and you ride it for 30 seconds. You ride the Mummy, and you're like, "Wow, that was cool." Oh, wait, I spent $200 to be here.
You say that in jest, but I guarantee that's an actual argument that Sonic fans have said when someone's like, "Hey, your game sucks. Play
it cheaper.
Mario instead."
Make it cheaper.
You know what I mean? This isn't worth it. Sonic, I was looking because video game news, Sony at one point was going to close the PlayStation 3 store, and now they're not, whatever. And I had acquired a second PlayStation 3 to just download all my shit on it, put in a new drive, etc. I was installing all my disc-based games one by one by one. One of my earliest ones, Sonic 06. I flip on the back of that box, on the PlayStation 3 box, it says more than 10 exciting levels. I'm like, 10? Really? 10?
Each one's what, maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes?
Like, they suck too, number one. But 10? You're throwing that on the back. Like, yes, Sonic Unleashed had like 8 or something.
That's like something
I get
you would
it.
say like
I get it.
in 1997. You're like, guys, 10 whole levels.
And they all look different. You know, like, that's cool, and that's what old Sonic games were like. Like, hey, every level uses different art assets. That's cool. It's a gimmick, right? But, like, you don't want to brag like, hey, our game has 10 levels. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, yeah, like, later Sonic games only had maybe about 10, but they didn't brag about it. But maybe that was, like, the only good thing they can say is, like, hey, at least there's more than one in this game.
Yeah.
This game is that bad. I'm so glad that game does not have trophies. Oh, my God. I would kill myself. Yeah, Sonic Colors was a game I enjoyed quite a bit back in the day.
I didn't play it.
Well, you're going to be playing... I technically never played it legitimately either. I had a jailbroken version. I had a PAL region version on my North American Wii. Colors was spelled with a U.
Sega's going to come after us for the SMS font, and they're going to come after us now for you admitting to pirating their game.
I did not say I pirated it. I said I played a PAL version copy on a jailbroken Wii. I never said I stole it, Devin. And in fact, I do own now a copy of it on disc.
So you paid it for it.
Like normal. I paid for it. Yeah, 100% paid for it. There is nothing illegal with emulation. It's just acquiring ROMs is not the legal part. All right? Don't look at that folder of PSP games I sent you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
These companies don't want you to buy their old shit. It's okay to steal them. I'm going to throw that out there right now. You can steal a Sonic game as long as you still pay for the new ones. I don't actually care about that. Sonic Colors was fun. It was the first time where, like, hey, at least it looks like all of the stuff you're doing is just what you would want. Maybe it's not done well. That's my argument. Sonic Colors might not be done well, but they did everything that, like, people wanted from I just want Sonic gameplay running. That's it. Well, here we did it. It might not be exactly the way you wanted it, you know, in an execution, but it was just a start to finish Sonic is running. It's got a goofy, bantery story. Roger Craig Smith's first role as the character. Interesting that it's getting remastered after he left.
It's a send-off.
Yeah. We mentioned briefly about the price and all that. I do think it will be $40 unless they redo the graphics. Like, if it's like, hey, because I wonder how hard that might be. Like,
I always imagine when they do a port, the company has like a button that they press. It just like it's like exporting a Premiere file. It's just like we just gotta wait like a year. It's just it's a long process, but the computer just does it. We just gotta wait a year. They have one computer, and then when a game gets delayed, it's because the computer like shut off for some reason. They went into sleep mode on accident. Like shit.
I know it's not nearly as obviously as easy as that. And same thing with what I'm about to say, too. I understand making games is extremely difficult, lots of processes, and it's not as simple as adjust a slider. But obviously, well, maybe it's not obvious to people, when you're making a game and you're making a character model or an environment or an art asset, whatever, you don't make it at the fidelity that the final game is going to be. You make it as high as you can or want to or whatever, and you reduce it down to make it work. Like, the Sonic character model is not that many polygons. It's a lot more, but they reduced them to make it work. That's how it works, right? There are high polygonal versions of the entire environments, I guarantee, sitting somewhere. It's not as easy as just drag and drop. The game is going to be like, hey, we don't support this and blah, blah, blah. It would still need work, But I still think it might be possible, even if they just used old files, as opposed to like grab an artist team and redo it all. You know what I mean? Still like have the game run on old code, but use new assets. It might be cheaper that way. I don't know. But at the very least, it's probably just going to be the Wii game in 1080p, maybe upscaled to 4K, and PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. You can play it on your PlayStation 5.
See, I was going to say, there's not going to be a PS5 version, though, you don't think? Or next-gen console.
Maybe. Nier did not have one. It's just PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. But then, like, some games, like... I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Some games that like were clearly made for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One forever and ever, and like they finally came out now. In the past 8 months, had a PS5 version that they made. Has a PS5 disc on it, like Balan Wonderworld, which we haven't played yet. We're saving it for a thing. That has a PS5 disc version of it. Guaranteed, not very much of the game is different than the PlayStation 4 version, even if that version is running on a PS5. So whatever work they did and they put on a disc. So it's possible Sonic Colors Remastered might be the case. But I think Sega is just more like, hey, let's not make any confusion. It's still going to, like, anyone, like, they're going to buy the PlayStation 4 version regardless. And the Xbox whole ecosystem makes it even easier to, like, avoid confusion. Like, if you just buy the Xbox version, it will work on both. It'll just decide how good it looks based off which console. Like, they made that smart, obviously. I think Sega doesn't care about like people. I don't think anyone that would have bought it on PlayStation 5 is not going to buy it on PlayStation 4. And you know what I mean? They're going to buy it regardless, you know.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
I agree. I was just curious.
But maybe, who knows? Maybe they're using some next gen features. Maybe supersonic SSD loading speeds might be a thing.
Also, how many kids are going to have a PS5?
I don't know, man. It's like the fastest selling console in the world.
For the scalpers.
Yeah. I got mine day one. Don't be jelly.
I'm not jealous. I'm actually glad I don't have it. I've thought about it today. I'm like, I barely touched the PS4 this year. So I'm glad I don't have no PS5 because I probably would. It still would have been doing the same thing the PS4 is doing, is sitting there.
Devin, you are exuding. You are exuding so much. I'm not mad. I'm actually laughing energy right now.
Really? No, no, legit. Because like I wind up needing money.
Hey,
for
these things are expensive. Like anyone that shames people, like you don't have a Nintendo Switch. What coming on? Zelda Breath of the Wild is like the greatest game of all time. I agree with that part, but like. It's the $300 system and then a $60 game. I get someone might not wanting to do that.
Actually, there was this discussion on Twitter about it today, and like I was saying how like I'm just gonna wait until it's in stores, and if that never happens, at least the PS5 Pro is around the corner. I could just wait for. I'll just be the Pro guy. I'll get it every Pro version of the new console.
Maybe it will have more than freaking 3 USB ports.
It'll have 4.
Dude, I can't use VR on my PS5 without having to have my hard drive unplugged because I need too many USB ports to make the thing work. You know what I mean? There's 3 USB ports and then a USB-C port, which I can't use anything for.
See, if they bought our console, they wouldn't have that problem.
The Sega Super Remastered.
By the way, Sonic Colors Remastered, or whatever it's called, is already on there, by the way. You can buy it right now.
You can buy Sonic Colors Remastered for your PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, but if you want to play Sonic Colors Super Remastered, you need to buy it.
And it's already out, by the way. It's out before even the remaster's out. That's how quick
we say 8K, 120 frames per second, guaranteed, required, you know?
required to work. That's such a dumb
We can only run super old games. It's the only way we can make it work, but whatever. That's what Super Remastered is all about. Yeah, we will be getting this game for the show. At the very least, I will be getting it and playing it and then sending Devin my copy for him to play.
We'll figure it out.
We'll do whatever.
That's the question now, is when is this coming out?
When's it coming out or when's it being announced? I think
both.
I think June for E3. Oh, no, Sega's not at E3. Square Enix was the company that recently joined E3 that wasn't in that initial list.
But I'm saying they can still announce it around E3.
Well, yeah, in a PlayStation State of Play
July
or
4th,
Inside Xbox.
America is back in Sonic Colors.
I mean, Sonic Colors was a Nintendo exclusive, so it might be at a Nintendo Direct.
That's part of the remaster. It's very like patriotic, very Americanized.
Yeah.
He wears like pants that are like the Star Spangled Banner. And before each level, the national anthem plays the full thing, and then you go.
There was that level where there's like a giant cheeseburger and fries and a shake in the background.
That's actually the whole game now. It's more fleshed out.
Yeah. It was called Sweet Mountain, but it mostly featured.
Now
fast
it's
food.
America Mountain. All right.
Freedom fries. Yeah, I would imagine this holiday, because if you think about it, the way console generations tend to work is that the first year after the new consoles are really the last year where you can have a big last-gen game push, especially if it's cross-gen. That's why, like, for PlayStation, I guarantee Horizon Forbidden West will be the last PlayStation 4 game that they make that isn't like a small thing or like a port or anything like that. It'll be the last Sony thing, right? It's also obviously on PlayStation 5. It's just like what they did last year with Spider-Man, right? Miles Morales. Their big PS4 holiday game was also PS5. I can see it being out for this holiday season because this might be the last year where you can really guarantee super high sales without people being like, why isn't this next-gen only? Please, I just want to see next-gen only games. I think it's this holiday season. I think it's their big holiday game because I think...
So no new Sonic game, though.
I think COVID made that game a 2022 release, and this is we still got something. I guarantee their plans for Sonic's...
I bet you this was like decided like last year where they're like, okay, COVID's going to fuck us up. Let's remaster one of our old games and just hold them over because we're not going to be able to finish this other game in time.
Yeah, right. I think that...
I'm assuming it's... I mean, you mentioned earlier, but it's much easier to remaster a game than completely make it... And
At the very least, it's cheaper.
And make a game from scratch. I mean, it does sound like...
And it's a proven thing. It will sell because it's proven to have been a thing that people liked.
And we had our speculation before of, like, it sounds like they're kind of cleaning house at Sega in redoing all of Sonic Team. Or Sonic Team is going to be a whole new team. And it sounds like maybe they're redoing Sonic. So maybe this is a way to, like, end a generation... era of Sonic, rather, for the generation that grew up with Sonic Forces onward.
My prediction is that much like how Nintendo is doing their big Mario 35 and had all these things, and like Nintendo's going to be doing the Zelda 35. There were leaks about Zelda stuff for their 35th anniversary, etc. Right? Sonic was supposed to have its 30th this year, but like they were announcing a whole bunch of stuff last year. This is Sonic's 30th anniversary. And I think the plan was to do something like akin to the Mario thing where it was a bunch of Sonic stuff. Maybe it's a comic book redo. It's the Sonic TV show, Netflix show that I think is no longer 2021. I think that's next year.
I don't remember.
So whatever it is. That plus this plus the update on the movie and blah, blah, blah. New Sonic game plus Sonic Colors Remastered plus maybe a collection of old Sonic games or something. I think that was the whole plan for this year. But COVID fucked it up, and now your star game, the new one, is not this year anymore. You gotta split the stuff up. Sonic Colors Remastered is the 30th anniversary game. But guys, don't worry. Maybe you'll even have a demo, I don't know. But new Sonic is around the corner. I think that's what ultimately they'll do.
What if we actually never get the new Sonic? Like years from now?
Because I don't give, like, who cares?
I know I know we've been said before that we'd rather them take their sweet-ass time and make sure it actually is fun. Not fun, but you know what I mean.
Spend the money you need to spend.
And like just good in general.
Have more than 10 levels.
Yeah. But I'm just wondering if like what the thing they've been working on has just been this the entire time, because that's also a possibility that they're like, we clean house because they're remaking this game or remastering this game, but like,
I mean, hey, like I said,
we don't have any other plans.
It's a proven record. I had fun playing the game back in the day. It wasn't perfect. There were things I did not like about it, and its execution wasn't all that great. But at least it's a known quantity. You know what I mean? I know it's going to have fun for me, because I was, believe it or not, excited for Sonic Forces, at least to a degree. I knew there's going to be things I would have enjoyed. I knew I was going to like the music. I knew I was going to like the quote-unquote modern Sonic gameplay that's from 2008. That's not modern anymore. Like, it's literally older than what the classic Sonic gameplay was up until 2008. It's older than that. You can't call it new or modern. It's now old. But in any case, I knew I was going to like that, and I knew I was going to like the soundtrack. I hated both. So Sonic Forces disappointed me. Nothing about that game was redeemable, right? So hey, I'll take a remaster of an old Sonic game because at least I know I liked something there. I liked the music in Colors. It was pretty good. And the gameplay was decent. It was fun.
And it was colorful.
Yep.
In language.
In the version I played back in the day, that colorful had a U in it. It was teal. It's a teal because
bring the 90s back, baby.
Color. Yeah, it was all your favorite Game Boy Color colors are back in here. So that's our Sonic Color stuff. There is one more piece of Sega Sonic news, and unfortunately went from super exciting right around the corner movie to potentially remastered, uplifting, could be good, could be bad news, whatever. Now here's some shit news, and we're not going to go too far into it because
cash grab, you could say.
You can look up more about what this disaster is yourself. We're just going to explain the news. Sega is looking to make its own NFTs for this summer, working with a popular NFT company in Japan. I didn't even bother looking into them.
NFT.com.
I don't remember what they were called. NFT, yeah, that's where they all come from, NFT.com. Non-fungible tokens are a blockchain thing that's paid for with cryptocurrency, which, as we all know, over like Bitcoin alone, the most popular cryptocurrency, has used more electricity last year combined than the country of Argentina and other major countries. It is something that's very unenvironmentally friendly. It's very bad for the environment. NFTs rely on cryptocurrency for their sales because of the blockchain bullshit. But yada, yada, yada. You can look up more information on it. What I wanted to know, especially from you, Devin, and folks out there, it's different when I'm a bumbling, no, I don't want to say bumbling because that sounds like you're stupid. I'm an ignorant artist on the matter. I make a small amount of money on a comic strip, on comic book covers that I do, on whatever. I can make a quick cash grab on Silicon Valley dumbasses for selling my Batgirl comic book cover or whatever as an NFT. Sure, I'm going to do it. There's a difference between the ignorance of that happening right away and a giant corporation that already knows. There's people there that know.
I don't want to say ignorant because I know there's people who know of the issue of it, but are still doing it. But they make less than $50K a year. This is their full-time gig, but like they live paycheck to paycheck. And if this is something that'll pay for half their rent the year, I don't fucking blame them. To be honest,
exactly.
In a system where
in a system that,
yeah, and that's the biggest difference in a system. And an economy that capitalizes on people and pushes you to do things you don't want to do, blah, 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 and makes you make decisions like this, it's really not your fault in the end of the day. Should you try your best to be environmentally friendly? Of course. But whether or not I drive my car is not going to save the planet. It's whether or not Amazon, Tesla, or any of these other big-ass companies stop pumping fucking carbon into the atmosphere.
Well, it was the mid-2000s when BP, before the oil spill, spent millions of dollars on a marketing campaign about the personal carbon footprint. You push the blame on the consumers. We're not going to get into politics, but you see that a lot about how you should be wearing 2 masks now. It's your fault COVID's spreading, as opposed to like, hey, you're a giant system that can make change. Amazon can make change. Sega can also make change by refusing to do this. You know what I mean? They don't have to do something to stop this, but if they just refuse to participate, you are making change. You know what I mean? I can't think of any other game publisher that is doing this.
Not that I know of.
Sega. You know what I mean? And it's like
maybe some indie developer, but once again, they're not making enough money probably anyways, or probably losing money to make most of their games, depending on how big the indie developer is and how good the game sells. Their lifeblood is whether or not, the game sells 100,000 copies or not.
We've talked about how there are 100 high-quality, amazing indie games a year, and those are the exceptional ones that you see. But there are plenty more good ones out there made by decent people making good games. So yeah, it is. But like my thing with like, there is no ignorance when it comes to a corporation because there's plenty of people there that can look up these issues. So like, I do not believe we didn't know if that becomes an excuse. It's like, no, you decided to fuck over the planet.
But the issue is, and this is just an issue in general with, I think at the point of where we are in the 21st century and just in general is everyone gives a shit, but also doesn't give a shit to do anything about it. Like we all can complain about it wherever it is, but like we can even, all of us can stop buying Sega stuff. We could change the name of this goddamn podcast. It's not going to do anything. You know what I mean? They're probably still going to sell the NFT or still do whatever they want to do. I'm not saying Sega is the devil here, and it's definitely not the worst corporation. But at the same time, we've had this discussion before. We've done episodes in the past about other video game developers and publishers buying other studios up, and how we see a lot of gamers cheering for it. Like, yeah, that's awesome. I can't believe Microsoft bought Bethesda. That's awesome. I can't believe.
It still blows my mind that people were like happy about that.
I'm like, no,
you were still going to get Doom.
And I think that's part of the I'm not saying you or me either. I think we're aware of it, and there's only so much we can control. We actually can't really control anything, but like as consumers of video games, like I think it's the gamers as a whole. I'm not saying one person or another. I'm saying like millions of people, millions of us are not at fault, but like we keep buying these games, we keep not really doing anything about it, and like that even goes to the game journalists. I've yet to see any game journalists really talk about the issues with these big corporations buying other companies and the ethics.
I've seen some, but it's still just like here's what it can mean by having Bethesda on Game Pass. It's more of that kind of stuff.
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the economic and also the long term. Not even want to say benefits. Just the long term issues that are going to happen because of
results.
The results that are going to happen, and this goes back to just how capitalism works and how it affects our media. All our consumption, whether it's movies, we talk about movies on here. Movies are affected by capitalism and the market and whatnot. So are video games, and so are how companies buy one another. And now NFTs, something that you wouldn't think is that big of. It's not even that big of a push, really, in the terms of like, I would say corporations right now. But now they're seeing that people are doing them, and now they're jumping in. Like now, if Sega does it, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see Naughty Dog or any of these other studios do it. If Naughty Dog already is going to remake Last of Us after 5 years,
make it a fucking NFT.
Freaking Joel is an NFT.
You can own a piece of our software as a non-fungible token.
Someone will buy it. Sell it for $1 million. Someone will buy it.
Also, again, folks out there, look up what the technology means and how it works. And it is not a permanent thing. You are paying for nothing. You can look up that on your own time. To basically boil down to what you're saying, systemic issues and how that relates to us as consumers of capitalist society shit, and just people that want to be happy and enjoy things and live your life without having to feel fucking guilty all the time, is it's demoralizing to think of like, this planet is going to shit. I guess I'll recycle this milk jug. Dude, every single person in this United States country that we live in, our efforts combined is a drop in the bucket to what Amazon can save. It's just as simple as that. But to be like, well, I guess it doesn't matter then, makes you feel worse. Because it's like, now I'm not even doing anything to help.
There's things I think we can do as a general populace, but it's going to require, to me, and this is a debate that I've seen, we were not going to go into too much in politics, but as a person who follows a lot of leftist ideology, people from all different, from communists to socialists to even just liberals, like that whole spectrum I follow, and I've seen a bunch of different takes. I don't know if I'm really set in one, but I do know that what I believe in is generally is that I think consumers as a whole would have to do a strike, in the sense of it had to be mass, though. It can't just be 1,000 people signing a change.org thing, or even 100,000 people. Right. These people would be like, we're not going to work anymore until Amazon does something, or until our government forces Amazon to do something.
You have to give up something, and when you know that your personal contribution to that is so minimal, and the very, very easily understandable risk of it just never occurring at all, and then you're the sucker that walked out on your job when no one else did, and the consequences of that, that's what's tough about it, right?
It's not easy, but it is something I think that is required to, like, because we've seen it in the past, there's been movements for, like, environment stuff, but it hasn't, and I still think it's pretty big, it's the biggest we've seen, but it's still not big enough that our government's doing anything about it. Not just the U.S. either. I'm talking about just globally. There's some countries that are ahead of others, but even them, they're still not even where they need to be. You know, like, we have the Paris Agreement, but, like, whatever. And you're probably like, but Devin, how does this stem back to NFTs? It's like, because these corporations don't give a fuck.
Right.
And our governments don't give a fuck to do anything about them.
Short term.
I'm like, our government actually probably could ban NFTs. I bet you they could do that if they wanted to. I'm not saying that should be the main thing.
They can spy on us, then they.
I'm not saying that they should. That should be like, they should be a bill for that. I want something much more invasive than just no more NFTs, sir. Like, it'd be like, no, we need green energy before we need to ban NFTs. But generally speaking, this just goes back to, like, just be aware of this and tell your folks about this, make them aware about this. Even if you
awareness, that's all that matters.
Yeah, and even if you don't think it's gonna be worth it or whatnot, or maybe you tell your mom about it and you think she wouldn't care about it, maybe she would, and then she tells someone at her work, and then now you just told 3 people. Now and then they tell 3 more people, and then eventually.
So instead, when someone at their work says something about NFTs, and your mom's like, "NFT, is that one of those Tesla things?" It's like, "Oh, I heard that's bad." Which is even just that and enough.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard that's bad.
Because
is enough.
As much as these corporations suck and will probably do whatever they want, sometimes they do listen to what the public pressure is doing. We've seen it with Black Lives Matter. All of a sudden, they're all on board about it because they know it sells, and they know if they weren't for it, people are going to stop buying their products. So, like, at the very least, is if we hope this, and I hope this NFT fucking bombs. They don't sell it, or we keep the pressure on them. I think, tweet at them if you want. Not saying go hate monger and be like, hey, I don't appreciate this. I love your games, but I don't appreciate this. I think that's fine to do. I don't know if it's going to get us anywhere, but I guess it's the only thing we can do, because it's not like you can go on strike on Sega, like, to their office. I guess you could do that, but, like, there's bigger problems to fry right now. But, like, I guess maybe send them an email or something if you really care about it. But it sounds like they're just going through with it already. I think it's already, the deal's been done. So, but
I know another deal that's been done. A commitment we've made to our audience. On every news episode, at the end, we read a Sonic book, and in this case, we are continuing our Sonic lore, our 3rd time expanding our Sonic universe. Every episode that is a news-based episode, we read from one of our 2 Sonic Mad Libs. Very lame, I know, but it's actually kind of thought-provoking and evocative of Sonic imagery. It's Devin's turn to make his story using prompts he gives me.
Yeah.
He has a generalized Sonic lore sheet. That's what I'll call it. And I have sheets based off the movie.
And
but
this is
it's
official
his
lore
turn.
now that we're making.
This is. As you remember,
Sega's going to put the NFT through, but guess what? We're putting lore through, and there's nothing they can do about it.
As you remember, last time Devin read his, we learned all about how chows work.
Yeah.
And when I did mine, we learned about Sonic's bunker in the movie and how it's filled with water now. Also, though, we like to do this, but if you have your own Sonic lore, aka Sonic fanfiction, tweet at us at the show on Twitter at Sonic Movie Show, a link to it. We need your consent to read your fan fiction, otherwise we'd be bullies by reading people's things and making fun of them. We need your consent, if it's bad. But don't be racist or anything like that. You know there's a line, right?
Yeah.
You know there's a line.
Be cool. Be cool. It can be funny. Just don't be punch up, you know?
You know where
Write
the line
a fan
is.
fiction about Sonic getting pissed at Sega about NFTs. That'd be cool.
That's your prompt for this week. Sonic's pissed at Sega for ruining the environment. All right, Devin, hit me.
All right. I'm not going to tell you anything about it, but I think this one's going to be good. Just based off the title. I don't know anything about it. I just read the title. I'm like, this looks cool.
Literally judging a book by its cover.
Literally. So the first thing I need from you, sir, is adjective.
Wet.
Next one is verb ending in ing. I-N-G.
Placating.
Placating?
Yeah.
I think I know what that means.
It's one of those words where if you ask me the definition, I would fumble it. But if it's used in a sentence, I know exactly what it means.
Well, we'll see if it works in this.
To placate someone is like to kind of satisfy them, but like not really do anything, if that makes sense. Like, oh, he's okay for now. You put some food in the dog bowl.
Okay.
You placated him.
I've definitely heard the word, but I really didn't know what it meant. So it's one of those words that people use in sentences. You're like, I think I know what that means.
I'm a smart boy.
Adverb.
Bashfully.
Verb, but in past tense.
Flew.
Adjective.
Blue.
Blue. No. Noun.
I don't want to say NFT, but that's the first thing that came to my mind.
Okay.
I
mean, that's what you're going with.
Fuck it, NFT.
What's great is when we all die from the environment, is someone's going to find this, the aliens or whoever's here is going to find this and be like, what is this NFT they speak of?
The harbinger of the end of the world.
I think this is the Bible. Adverb.
Ooh, adverbs are tough for me because I can't think of too many.
Yeah, they're weird.
Passively.
Noun.
Town.
A place. You just did town, so that's going to be... I don't know if that's going to affect anything.
I'm trying to think. You know what? Eggman Land.
Eggman Land.
Yep. Hence, bring back Sonic Colors. That was the plot.
I was going to say, that sounds really made up, but that works. Animal, but plural.
I mean, hedgehogs.
A number.
42.
Jackie Robinson Day was a couple days ago. Noun.
I have no idea what you just said.
I said I said Jackie Robinson Day. It was a couple weeks ago.
Oh.
Days ago.
Another noun. Another noun. Another noun. Another noun. This isn't an object, but it's a thing. I'm going to say a nebulous term, a more non-physical idea. This is what this noun is. Future.
Or if it doesn't work, we'll just say it's Future
the
rapper.
Future.
Future, but the rapper.
I don't know who that is.
He's like produced like probably every hip hop song you've known.
Oh. Cool.
Also a rapper. Part of the body.
My Achilles heel.
I don't know how to spell Achilles, but
ACH. You played Hades. It pops up in
clearly
text
I don't know
form.
how to spell heel either because I messed that up.
You just put HEAL. Is that what you did?
Yeah, I'm like, whatever. Dude, it's crazy how much like my brain now relies on just autocorrect, and like I just have no confidence whenever I'm writing. Number.
1.
Verb.
Dream.
Adjective.
Morose.
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 Morose. You're picking up. Where are you picking the? Do you have like a dictionary or a thesaurus around? Morose.
Sullen or ill-tempered. I knew it was like a depressing word, but I need to look up what it meant.
And last but not least, a noun. And our story will be complete.
Climate change.
I guess that's a noun.
It's a thing.
Who cares? It's our lore. We can do whatever we want.
Future historians will care when they read this, but yeah.
All right. So I said that the title was attracting to me. You want to know what the title is?
Also, I wanted to know because last time I think you randomly flipped to a page, but on my one I'm just going in order because I think it's kind of the order of the movie.
I'm doing
You're
random.
Okay, so this is random.
I'm
okay.
Pure chaos over here.
Okay.
We never know what you're going to get every night. Or every time we do this. Legendary Windmaster is the name. I thought that was cool.
Huh?
And vague. So I'm like, man, I want to watch The Legendary Windmaster on HBO Max.
It's an ancient samurai film.
All right, Legendary Windmaster. You think you're wet? Well, you look slower than a placating turtle from up here. Jet the Hawk bashfully cried out as he flew over Sonic. Oh yeah? Replied Sonic. You think you're as blue as me?
That works.
Well, why don't we race to the NFT over there? So they're becoming an NFT. Who can become an NFT first? Jet smirked passively as he circled back, which doesn't make any sense. Passively, he flew over. He's like, not that confident. And when
I think it's smirked passively.
It's like a half smirk. When I'm the winner, you'll have to admit that I'm the fastest town in the Eggman land. He shouted. Don't count your hedgehogs before they're hatched. Sonic shouted back. But that's good. I love that.
Sonic's very referential about his anatomy. I'm blue and I'm a hedgehog.
Then he added, I've beaten you 42 times before, and I plan to wipe that future off your Achilles heel. One
That
more
means
time.
he's going to kill him. Think about that. Your Achilles heel is the weakness that's your downfall that means to your end. And he's talking about wiping away his future.
Okay, on the count of 1. Just said, as he lined up next to Sonic. 3, 2, 1, dream. The 2 morose speedsters took off. Only one climate change could be the winner.
That's the end? Doesn't even tell you if they won.
Maybe it's the next one? I don't know. Let me look. No, it's not. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Maybe it's in the rest of the book. We'll have to come back and see next time.
Well, that makes me think then, what if what we just did is a sequel to something that's earlier in the book?
So far, it hasn't been too. We only done 2, to be fair, but it seems so far they're not really connected. Remember, this is world building, or at least the first one was world building. This is a more direct scene.
I think what we need to pull from this, because my favorite things was that Sonic literally said, "You're not as blue as me," and don't count your hedgehogs before they hatch. He very much knows he's a blue hedgehog, because the way this could have worked is he could have been very, like, amorphously body horror, like, you know what I mean? He has no idea what he is. He has a self-identity still. I'd like to know if this continues in the story, or if he slowly decays.
I'm gonna start
loses
saying
his sanity.
I'm gonna start saying that and be like, "Don't count your hedgehogs before they hatched." Even what's funny about that is the echidnas come out of eggs, but not hedgehogs. So it's
If
close
really,
but far.
If you seriously told me that hedgehogs came out of eggs, like one of the random mammals that did, I would probably believe you.
Echidnas are kind of like hedgehogs, so
platypus.
Yeah,
platypi. Yeah, tentacle monsters.
I really want to know where platypi came from. Why do they have the bills, duck bills?
Yeah, very bizarre. Sometimes they're turquoise and they're spies, like Perry the Platypus.
I was like, "Where are you going from?" I didn't know idea what that reference was.
That was one of those kids shows that was a thing when we were a little bit older than its audience, and you were like, "Oh, you don't want to watch SpongeBob. You're going to watch Phineas and Ferb. Ugh, this is so stupid." Phineas and Ferb are like penis and perv. Huh, God. Oh, this is actually kind of funny. It's one of those things where, like, I don't want to admit that I'm watching this when my cousins are over or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
I gotta be playing Pokemon Diamond and Pearl instead. Like, cool kids.
I'm going to watch Cars, bruh.
Owen Wilson is a national treasure.
Yes.
And Larry the Cable Guy thinks we're being too PC in the world. In any case, that's the end of episode 82 of the Sonic Movie Show. I thank you all for watching and listening and enjoying this experience with me and
Thank you for enjoying this NFT.
I even got to enjoy a brand new podcast series called the Sonic Movie 2 Show, which had its very first episode today. So I'm excited about this anniversary we're starting 1 year from today on April. I'm looking around, assuming I had a calendar.
We're actually almost 1 year off from the Sonic 2 movie.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
There we go.
22nd.
Perfect.
5 days.
Perfect start
before this recording, but in the future, 1 year.
Catch us on Twitter at Sonic Movie Show. I'm on Twitter at Ethan Absolutely, and Devin is on Twitter at CURSONAFUN. You thought I was going to forget that. I saw you're like, I know a name when I know it. Well, you tried to throw me off guard last time.
I know a name when I know it.
Fuck off. Listen to other episodes. The Chronicles of Diesel aired yesterday. Our 14th episode. We talked about a movie we have not yet seen as of the time of this recording, but we'll know a whole heckin' lot of it by the time you listen to that episode, as well as some more stuff about the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, which I had been researching today after work. We'll catch you next time.
You said that like you found some dirt.
You'll hear it. You've already heard it, actually.
I have.
Folks out there.
I have.
Lots of revisionist history about who was the lead in the first film. A lot of people were saying it was Vin Diesel all along. Like, no, Paul Walker had top billing. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Green Hills.
If I had one dream, Shadow the Hedgehog. Or whatever the fucking poem said.
Yeah.